You know, you can learn a lot cleaning windows, not just about the glass, but about people, about business, and about yourself. Welcome to the Window Pro podcast. I'm Duncan McRae, and after nearly 30 years on the tools, I've had my share of wins, mistakes, and hard-won lessons. And this show is where we leave the fluff at the door. We're going to have real conversations with fellow window cleaners and ask about how they built their businesses and what's worked for them. So if you're after practical ideas, honest stories, and the occasional laugh, you're in the right place. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Well, welcome back to our Window Pro podcast, and today we're talking to Sam Kelk from Ultra Reach Poles. Now, Sam, you're in the UK. Exactly where do you have your window cleaning business and your pole business?
Oh, right, Duncan. That was a very nice introduction. I am right in the centre of the UK, so Derby, right in the Midlands. You'll probably know of Nottingham, Robin Hood better, or the terrible football clubs that we have around here, Derby County and Notts Forest.
So that's it there, Derby? On this
Yeah, I'm right, very close to the centre there, just about 2 miles out of the city centre. Up towards Chaddiston, there's just to the left. Yep, just near your cursor. Yeah. On that Nottingham Road. I'm literally sat on that Nottingham Road just past the park as we speak. Yeah.
Lovely. So that gives us the dead centre of England.
Really bang in the middle, yeah.
Yes.
Right in the middle.
Yes. So how did you get into window cleaning?
It was my brother, Paul. He's about 20 years my senior. I'm the youngest of five. And Paul was a window cleaner. I was home educated. And about from the age of 13, maybe 14, I used to start going out with him. And I'd say by the time I was, before 15, after 14, I was flying up and down ladders, no idea of health and safety, with a scrim, bucket, blade, cleaning windows. And that's kind of how I learnt it. So I did that a day or two a week with my brother. And then other window cleaners in the area got to know that I was window cleaning probably when I was about 15. And they were having me for a day here and there. I was doing commercial bits on. You'd never get away with it, health and safety now. I was on a Volkswagen, which is down on Pride Park, big high windows, up ladders up at 30 foot at the age of 15. It was fun. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I started picking up a few of my own properties in the area, walking around my ladders. When I was 16, my mum got me a pair of Young Mum 100 ladders. What a present. So I could just go around cleaning local houses. Yes. And I just built it from there. Really.
And what do you enjoy about it? You said you just love it. What is it particularly that makes you stick with the industry?
It's the freedom. I think the earning potential is really good. The earning potential can be whatever you want it to be. I don't employ people. I have been down that route in the past. But if you want to employ, you can expand and make as much as you want of yourself financially as you like. But working the hours that I want to work, being able to have time for the family and being able to see some good weather and go, right, we're going camping or we're going to the coast, we're going to get a cheap deal at a caravan somewhere. And that for me is awesome, absolutely awesome. I don't like being pinned down or regimented or anything like that.
I'm sure many of us feel exactly the same way. Yes, that flexibility is certainly something really good. So we're in an interesting time compared to when you started. What helps you stay optimistic about the window cleaning industry?
I suppose all the above that we kind of just mentioned, the freedom that it gives me. But I've branched out into other things a little bit as well. I used to hire. I needed at one point some really long poles for window cleaning, and I was looking at the prices that many of the companies were selling them at, and I was like, I've got kids, I'm the only breadwinner in the house, and I was like, I've got to find something a little cheaper. So I started looking to suppliers, and I formed a good relationship with a supplier of poles, and he had a new type of anti-spin pole out that really intrigued me. So I tried it along with some other friends. We all kind of brought one each, and we found that this pole was really, really good. So I started buying them from more local guys in the area, testing them, and this has picked up my interest of recent because it gives me a little bit of a diversion from just going out cleaning windows. So I've started selling poles for the last year and a half, anti-spin poles, and it seems to be doing really well. So that's kind of keeping me a little bit more interested in the industry, because I've been cleaning windows for 25 years now. So
Wow.
it mixes it up a little bit now.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah, I talked to someone recently who's in Sydney, and he had been in window cleaning. He started in the UK, but he had a business in Sydney, and he has gone into different types of window cleaning tools as a diversion to keep his interest. So that is coming out shortly, that podcast. So John O'Bull. So I understand what you're saying and how you're feeling about that. Now we'll come back to that a bit later, but through your 25 years in window cleaning, have you developed a specific niche in window cleaning?
It's a tricky one to answer. I suppose I don't do anything differently to most window cleaners, but one thing that I do build up is a repertoire with the customers. It's interesting. I could get a phone call from 32 Mere Drive, and they'll say it's 32 Mere Drive, and the number, even though I've been doing it for years, doesn't always click with me. But then they'll say their name, and I'll immediately know who they are. I can tell you what their dog's name is. I can tell you where they're going on holiday. I can tell you their favourite lager. Bill, I know my customers well, and I think my customers appreciate that, and you get a lot of trust from it. So I suppose that, and just going that little bit further for customers. So if they've got a dirty post box, give it a little clean while you're waiting. When they come to the door, have a cloth in my hand just to be cleaning up a bit of a windowsill. Show that I'm doing a little bit more, that I'm happy to do it for them, and putting yourself out for people. I think if you could call that a niche, that would be my niche, that
Yeah.
I like to help them.
Yeah.
And if they're an older customer and it's bin day, ask them if they want the bin taking out if you're early, or bringing in, or do you need anything moving in the garden, because it means a lot to people, a lot. So I think just trying to be friendly and have a genuine interest in people.
Yeah, I think that's important because you pass them, if you pass them down at the shopping centre, they stop and say hello. You know, if they remember you and they don't hesitate to have you back because of what you do. I know for some of my residentials, because in Australia we do a lot of internal work, it's oh, by the way, Carissa, I've done your mirrors in your bathrooms and I've done all those wardrobes that have got mirrors on them. Oh,
Exactly.
and of course it's those little things that add a wow factor. So yeah, so that's interesting.
Totally.
So do you just do windows or do you do gutter clearing, roof washing?
I'll do I'll do conservatory roofs. I'll do the gutters, do fascia cleaning. Pretty much cover any PVC on the house, or what if it's wood or whatever. I'll do all that. I'd say 95% of my income is window cleaning.
Yeah.
I do that a little bit, but I don't charge enough, Duncan. I'm too kind. And Dorothy comes out and she's I've got a bit of a drip on the gutter, and yes, I'll have a look at it for you. The ladders are out, you're up there, and you realise it's just a lump probably in the downpipe, and then you're clearing the downpipe out, and she's making you a coffee with some biscuits, and don't worry, Dorothy,
It's hard.
just to be I don't charge enough for it, but I think if a job can take you 5-10 minutes, and it helps you with the relationship with that customer,
Yeah.
and they're making you a drink, and they're putting themselves out for you, do what you can for people. But obviously, if somebody wants a full gutter clean, fascias and that, you've got to put a decent price on it, because you're going to be there a few hours.
That's right. Yeah, you have to think about those things. It's difficult because we have to find the boundary between just doing some a kind act and running our business. So there's
Yeah,
a clear
yeah.
line that we have to try and make sure.
Most certainly, you
We,
can't get walked over. That's
no,
for sure.
that's right. So,
Mm.
how do you handle difficult clients? Speaking of boundaries,
I don't work for them anymore. Um,
that's
it's taken me many years to get this right, Duncan. Because it's only, I'd say, the last 2 years I've hardened up. And if there's a customer that is just unkind, I've had blatantly rude customers that I've done for years. They're just not nice people, and I've had to write a good long message to them and just say I can't. And I now tell them the reason. Um, the way I looked at it is 98, 99% of people are great. 1 to 2% aren't. So if I have to sacrifice 1 to 2% of my income to go out and be happy for the day, that's what I do.
yes,
I just don't go there with people anymore. You get a sense for people, give them a chance, give them a couple of chances, but you might catch them on a bad day, and that's totally different. They might be in a rush, they might be a little blunt. But if they're regularly unkind, blunt, trying to get work out of you that you've never said that you'd do, then don't work for them. Just
yeah,
don't work for them. In my
yes,
opinion,
yeah,
yeah, it's not.
absolutely,
It's not.
absolutely.
Yeah,
We're not in business to be a charity. We're
no,
in
no.
business to care for our families and to develop a lifestyle. So that's an important aspect. Uh, do you have any problem with people who are late payers? And if so, how do you do the follow-up?
I do. I'm quite relaxed with payments. I've got rid of the bad payers. I filter them out. So I know all the people on my rounds now will pay. Some of them work in and out the country. I might not see some for a few months. I mean, I've had customers that I know very well. I've been doing for 25 years, and I won't see 6 or 7 months. But then they'll come, they'll catch me, or they'll get a phone call one day. Sam, I need to pay you up. Sorry, been all over the place. Been looking after parents or whatever. And I think they're genuine reasons because I know them, and then they pay up. But in general, most of my customers are brilliant with paying.
Yeah.
But I know the ones that, yeah, are going to leave it a little while, and I'm happy to do that. It's like a bit of a bonus every now and then when you get 5 or 6 months payments.
It's like the holiday fund.
Yeah, yeah,
Holiday fund.
yes, 100%. 100% it is. Yeah, yeah. You kind of leave it in the back of the mind thinking, oh, we've got a bonus next month because I'm sure that they're back in the UK and then they
Yeah.
pay up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you use specific technology for your payment system or to keep your client listing up to date?
This is an interesting one for me, Duncan, because I hate technology. I'm not a fan of technology. It's great when you're good with it. I'm not great with it. I'm very much a spreadsheet guy. Keep my spreadsheets, keep my ticks. It's dead easy to add up at the end of the year. I find that for me at the minute the best way, though I will be going down the route of technology. I have tried some of the apps that we have over here. I won't say what the names are because I don't want people to think a negative of them. But I've really struggled. I find they're very overcomplicated. They've got route planners and all this extra things on them that just boggle my mind because I know my round like the back of my hand. So I get a bit frustrated with them, but I know there's 1 or 2 apps being developed that are very. I think I've got a friend that's developing one over in Nottingham, Gleam, and it's very simple. It's very straightforward and easy to use. So I think for those of us that don't like the technology, that would be great.
Yeah.
But I will try that in time.
Can we ask what that name of that new app is?
Glean, I think Glean. Yeah, it's in development. He's got it out there. Quite a few people are trying it, and seems to be getting on well with it. I've had a good look at it. My son started using it. He's a window cleaner as well, and he's getting on quite well with it.
Yeah. I'm using Squeegee app, which is based in the UK. I don't use all
Yeah,
the features, but when you and I met face to face at the cleaning expo back in March, I also met the Squeegee app people there at the expo and have done some promos with them since. But some of the technologies don't work in Australia. They're not for an Australian field, but so that's the problem with some of the technologies is they're specific to a location. And
yeah, I'm sure
we
they'll
don't have
develop
anything
it.
in Australia that's specific for window cleaners that's easy to work. So it's a constant battle trying to find
Well,
technology.
well, maybe somebody listening will, some tech guy will jump on that for you and help you with
Yes,
that, Duncan.
absolutely. Yeah. So let's go back to this side, I call it a side hustle, I guess, the
Mm.
going into polls. So you mentioned that some of the polls you used. So here's your website. That's
Yeah,
Ultra Reach Polls.
yeah.
So can you talk about the process of using a particular, we won't talk about what brand you were using, but
Mhm.
so nobody gets upset. But you were using a particular pole because water-fed pole is a
Yeah,
constant in the
the
UK.
brand I was using, the brand I was using is a very well known one, and it's a very good brand, and I wouldn't knock them. It's just that they didn't have an anti-spin version, and I was finding that the top inch of the pole, where you clamp down, they tend to spin in time. So it was becoming a bit of an irritant that I'd have a pole for sort of so many months, and it would start to move and spin, and it would be very irritating with the brush. Now I know there's a few companies that have come out that do anti-spin poles, but they're very expensive, and they tend to have a few faults. That they tend not to be circular.
Oh yeah,
Circular is the strongest shape around. So if you see a lamppost, if we see a tree, it's circular. It's incredibly strong. It allows a bit of movement. But if you change that shape to, well, any shape, it doesn't carry the strength. So I found this pole that was developed, and it needed a lot of work doing on it. So I had an engineer help me, and we've developed it to a high standard now. But it's been a very interesting process. I'm one of those people, Duncan, that I can see a problem and I can know how to put it right, but I can't necessarily put it down on paper. Um, I know a lot of people use CAD and think, which is what we use now, CAD, to design things. That is beyond me. I've always struggled with dyslexia, so academically, down on pen and paper, I do struggle with, but I can kind of see a problem and how to improve the problem. So that's what we've done with this poll. We've taken it from a nice poll to use to a long-lasting, really well-built pole with every angle being looked at, and we're still now developing it, and we've been finding it really interesting. It's been another world to me, because obviously I'm a window cleaner going into this world of importing poles and getting involved with CAD and learning how it works and developing things and developing a brush as well. And it's been really interesting. So yeah, it's
yeah,
kept me, it's excited me back in the world of
yeah,
business a little bit again.
yeah.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about the clamps? Because the pole I use, which is probably the same famous brand that you used to use,
Mhm.
has the clamps that go, you flick it to the left and then you press it
Yeah.
down to the right. Yours seems to go the opposite.
Yeah. Our first poll, the original, did actually close on the right. Ours now closes left, but it kind of hooks round the clamp. So as a right-handed user, I just sort of put the hand under the pole. I can show you, Duncan, if you want me to grab one.
Sure thing.
No problem. So as a right-handed user, kind of pop the pole open there and shut it.
Yeah.
So we have changed from the right side to the left now, but we've done it purely because the original clamp we had was a glue-on clamp, and we wanted a bolt-on clamp. So if they ever need to be changed or you want to take the pole apart for cleaning. It's just going to be a lot easier now. So yeah, just flick to the side and shut. I think for the left-handed guys, it should be quite simple because it's on the left.
Yes.
But yeah, as a right-handed user, I find it really simple.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah. So
That's just,
So with those clamps, you said they're bolt on rather than glue on. How often do you think, if someone's using a pole a number of days a week, how often will it be that you need to service those clamps?
I like to put a little bit of spray, PTFE spray, or you can buy pole lubes and all sorts now. I know Added Sparkle, who's a great company in the UK. That's Mark Monroe. He runs the expos. He has a really good pole cleaner, and they really prolong the life of poles. So I recommend, no matter what brand of pole you're using, use something on it like the Added Sparkle pole cleaner or the dry PTFE spray, just to clean them. I'd do that possibly at the end of each week. Give it a little spray. It takes a minute or two, and it'll make the life of the pole. Oh, it'll add half, if not double, the life of a pole. It's like adding oil to a car.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed on your website, I'll just pull that up again. You've got an interesting thing here that your poles are tested with an insulated base 10 kVA tested.
Yeah.
Can you explain okay, let's just go back before you do. At the Cleaning Expo, one of the stands was Jason Knight, who was electrocuted over a year ago, 18 months ago, using a pole, and the power jumped across from some massive power lines that hit him, and he's now a paraplegic. Quite a sad story, but he's alive, and so now there's a big push to insulate the poles. So ultra rich poles is insulated. What does the 10 kVA refer to for those of us who aren't?
It's been tested to 10,000 volts. So basically, we took it to a company who test ground tools. We fired through the carbon fiber section here, 10,000 volts, to see if it would come through to the base section here. So this base section's made out of mainly fiberglass material, which is non-conductive, whereas this part, carbon fiber, is conductive. But carbon fiber is so nice and rigid to use at work, so we've only included the base section at the minute. So if you held on to the base section, it's much safer. There's so many other factors that come involved, though, Duncan. If there's water running down the pole, you have a flow of water on the inside of the pole. There's so many things that can still carry electricity. I don't know what it's like in Australia for overhead cables. In the UK, there is danger of it. Not everywhere, but there is danger, and it's sometimes very hard to identify what's a phone line, what's an electric cable, what's for Jason Knight. It was a horrific accident that he had. I had a good long chat with him, and we're in a lot of talks with John as well, his father, who's a real driving force in the industry to get these things changed. I don't know if you spoke to him, but we're doing all we can. We're looking further and further into the aspect of safety, but it's very hard to get that balance of a usable product that you want to use, that's rigid, that's strong, that's not going to split easily, and safe.
And that isn't too heavy.
Exactly.
So I've tried some poles at the expo as well as poles here in Australia, and some of them are very heavy, and you know your shoulders are going to go by 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's finding that balance. It really is finding the balance. So we're working quite hard at doing that. but yeah, the testing is something we're going to go down the route of more with a higher voltage as well. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting to watch the professionals do this testing. But yeah, I think there's more improvements to come. And John is a great driving force for safety in the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I brought home some their stickers to put on your
Yeah,
poles. Look up stickers.
we've
I've
put
got
them
them
on
on
the
all of
pole
my
now.
poles.
I
And
think, yeah, we've popped them on here now,
yeah,
just
that's the
there.
ones. Yeah.
Look, we've had them put into the pole itself. Look up, yeah. Look out, remember Jason.
Yeah.
Because I think 90%, well, if not more, of accidents that happen would be stopped if people had do a safety assessment of every property, walk round, check out every cable. If you're not sure, ask the homeowner, what's that cable? You know, and do your research. That way you can stay safe, as well as using products. You know, if you are, there's many things you can do. Rubber boots, safety boots, you know, you can buy them. If you're working in an industrial area that you think there's a lot of electricity, look into getting these products. It's only going to benefit you if anything does go wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So and we should be prepared to walk away from a job if we're convinced it's not going to be safe.
110%. I mean, I have certain parts of houses on around that I have just up the road in Borrowash, lovely area, sort of older traditional houses. And there's a lot of overhead cables. And I've just started saying to customers, I can't go on that corner of the house and do that anymore, because electricity will jump. If it's a slightly damp day, if there's water coming out of my pole, it can jump. There's so many factors. I know there's so many arguments against, oh, no, that can't happen. This can't happen. But once in a blue moon, it can happen. And these, accidents happen.
And it happened to Jason, and it's happened to
Yeah,
other people. And it's some areas they don't have insulated cables, so some of the cables coming to homes a lot in Australia are insulated, so it's a little safer, but you still don't want to get your pole near those kind of
yeah.
things. So it's really interesting.
Sadly,
So
yeah,
that's
sadly, a lot of the electrical. Sorry, Duncan, I'm jumping in. A lot of the electrical suppliers don't check these that they're still insulated.
yeah,
They can go decades without being checked, and obviously the breakdown of rubber can happen,
yeah,
and parts can start getting exposed. So it's only a matter of touching that, and terrible things can happen.
yes. So as much as it's up to us, it's very good to know that people like yourself and other manufacturers, I know Ionics are working really hard at that.
Yeah, he is.
So a number of other brands like Clean Links Poles doing the same thing. So it's really
Yeah,
good to know that manufacturers and suppliers are focused on that safety, and
and
us window cleaners learning how to use them. So Jason was electrocuted when he just touched the second section. That's what had happened. He wasn't. That's it jumped as he was bringing the pole down, and his hand was on the second section. So it's right above where it's insulated. So
yeah,
learning those skill sets is so important with pole work in our window cleaning. Yes. So if you were talking to a new window cleaner
yeah.
and they said, Sam, you've been in the game 25 years. Can you give me three of your top tips? What would they be?
Um, Sit down and work out how much you need to earn. I think number one,
Yeah.
give yourself a goal then of if I need to earn X amount, I need to earn X amount. You know, hopefully you've got a buffer that can carry you through from your previous job or a little bit of savings, and give yourself a target of when you need to hit that. There are many ways of advertising. I know this is something we spoke about a little bit in the past. Flyers and Facebook, media, loads, and I think they all work. But I think personally, I've always found the very best way of gaining work is knocking a door, introducing myself. Hello, I'm the local window cleaner. Would you be interested in a quote? So then you meet the people and you build that relationship straight away. So I'd say if a new window cleaner had the time, knock a few doors. Don't be afraid just to knock. Introduce yourself, and you'll get a lot of leads from it. you'll meet the head of the family, and they'll be like, "Oh, my daughter lives around the corner," or and before you know it, you build up quite a lot in an area. I found that quite handy. Other tips, like we spoke about before, don't work for rude people. Don't wreck your day with that 1% of people. Go to work happy. Enjoy the 99% of people. Yeah, I'd say that'd be about it, really.
Yeah,
That'd be
so
my two
set
tips.
yourself a financial goal,
Yeah, yeah.
face-to-face interaction, like door-to-door
Works well.
calling, and don't work for rude people. Set a boundary. Yeah, they're brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah, so well, it's really been fascinating, Sam. Thank you very much for sharing your story and talking
No
about
problem.
this product that you're marketing across the UK, and hopefully down the track we'll see them in Australia, the ultra rich
We'd love to do
anti-skink.
that. If
So
there's anybody listening that would has an interest in helping us with that in Australia, just get in contact with us. Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, I've had a good look at those when we met at the expo, and you've got a good product. So
Thank you.
very good.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining the Window Pro podcast, Sam. All the best with your business and your role as a family man. And we look forward to catching up with you another time. Take
Thank you
care.
so much, Jonathan. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to the podcast. I hope you got some real value from today's guest. We know that each guest brings something different to the table, hence the variety in my guests on this podcast. So if you got value from this episode, please share it with a fellow tradie or someone else in business that you think would benefit from it. And please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast through your favourite platform, whether that's on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.